Salutations everybody, it is Maddie here today. What? I think you just looked at me kind of funny. Is it because I have a Christmas tree up and Thanksgiving hasn't happened yet? I don't give a shit. Today, we're talking about a game I haven't talked about on the channel in about 7 months, and that title is Elder Scrolls Blades. And it appears that Bethesda's actually done something really smart with it. Normally, I'm cranking on Bethesda as of lately, but we gotta keep it fair here. They've made a really positive change to this game, one that I think will actually please a lot of you out there. And as someone who was a huge advocate of bringing these changes in, I'm happy to see Bethesda finally brought them. But the main question is it too late? And why did Bethesda make these changes now, not many months ago when all of us were clamoring for them? We'll get into all of that, but let's start off with the news update that is sourced through Bethesda.net, which I will have linked in the description down below if you want to read it for yourself, but I'll be covering every bit of info in there in today's video. Alright, so let's start off with the big daddy, which is chest timers removed. We're always looking for ways to improve the player experience in Blades. We've heard your feedback, and with update 1.5, we're making some huge changes to our loot system, including one of the most highly requested updates: the complete removal of chest timers. That's right, starting with this update, your chests will open immediately. No longer will you have to wait to see what's inside. Now, for those of you who have paid close attention to the channel for a while will know that when I reviewed Elder Scrolls Blades, I said it's a great game that's locked behind paywalls, and that paywall was within these chests. Elder Scrolls Blades had a great gameplay loop, the town building was fun, the resource hunting was nice, it was simple yet addicting, and it could have really surpassed what Fallout Shelter did if the game just got out of its own way. But like I said, those chests and the timers that were put on them were insanely long. So to see Bethesda completely remove every single semblance of a chest timer is huge. That was one of the biggest issues with the game, and now has turned it into, you guessed it, a video game. No longer are we locked behind these timed chests. You could just play, and I think that's really, really good for the game's health. But it does get a little bit better. Major loot overhaul. The removal of chest timers is not the only update to our in-game loot systems. Players will also notice increased loot from enemies. Make sure you have inventory space ready when you're adventuring through Blades post 1.5, as more enemies you encounter will drop loot, and more of it. Additionally, every job you get will now have a boss to defeat that drops even greater rewards than usual. You'll also encounter more types of breakables than there were previously, and you guessed it, they'll be awarding more loot as well. Our goal is to make Blades as rewarding to play through as it is fun, and we think that these changes will help us do just that. Okay, so when I read that, at first I was pretty ecstatic. I was like, wow, this is exactly what we wanted. But then it hit me of that time frame. I mean, I thought it was way longer ago, but it was only about 7 months ago we were clamoring for these changes in Elder Scrolls Blades. And I started thinking deeply on it. Why is Bethesda doing it now? And then I realized there's probably a multi-phase launch here. Okay, we'll do phase 1, have everyone pay out the wazoo for microtransactions for Elder Scrolls Blades, and then once we start to see that player base dip off, let's spike it by making the positive changes that people have been asking for in the game for a really long time to help reinvigorate that player base. And it's really up to you as a consumer if that's something you end up wanting to download and play, because on one hand, we sit here and go, wow, this is what I wanted, and I kind of want to play it now as just a gamer, and also because Bethesda, like it or not, has made 2 very good mobile games. Just one was heavily monetized, but when that monetization is removed, I can't blame anyone for wanting to play. But at the same time, you don't want to support this type of business strategy, this type of, we're going to go ahead, get our money up front, really squeeze them dry. And I don't think Bethesda saw the same type of surge of popularity and widespread love that they saw with Fallout Shelter, which I think they were expecting for Elder Scrolls Blades. Now, ES Blades did trend well. I think it hit #1 on the App Store, and I know Bethesda made a ton of cash off of it. But that doesn't change that Fallout Shelter had like a good 1.5 year life cycle, people talking about it, anticipating updates. I slung a decent amount of money at that game, and I don't regret it because I really enjoyed it. So what Bethesda should have done in the first place was launched Elder Scrolls Blades as they launched Fallout Shelter, which was just a fun video game on mobile that didn't cater to those practices that so many games on that market do. Now, those are some major changes that we've expected for a decent amount of time in Elder Scrolls Blades. I'm happy to see them there, but then there are additional updates coming to the game that help fill things out, such as PvP. PvP is here. In a previous Blades Town Hall, we gave you a short preview of what to expect in our arena mode, and the wait is almost over. We're thrilled to announce that you'll be able to jump into the PvP arena and start battling other players as soon as update 1.5 hits in early December, so you guys won't have to wait long for this if you actually are interested. This mode will be instantly available to all players at level 5 or higher, and lets you battle one-on-one against other players for loot and glory. Each match is a best of 3, and you can switch out equipment or skills between rounds to utilize the element of surprise on your quest for victory. Not only are you battling for pride, but also recognition. Winning moves you up the in-game leaderboards where you can see how you stack up against other players around the world. This mode will allow you to experience Blades in an all-new way, and we're eager for you to start playing it soon. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not interested in that at all. I mean, especially because they're like, oh, just move up the leaderboard. It's like, that is no incentive to play PvP. I think it's just for people who have been in the game for a while and they're looking for something outside of that single player experience. Nintendo Switch. We know how eager our players are to dive into Blades on the Nintendo Switch, and we've been hard at work to make it happen. Unfortunately, amidst all the other changes we're making to Blades, we've had to delay our Switch release until early 2020. We can't wait until you begin your quest on Blades on the Switch, and we're confident this additional time will let us deliver the polished gameplay our fans deserve. We deeply appreciate your patience. As we mentioned in previous Town Hall, PvP matches will be cross-platform between mobile versions and the Switch version when it releases. I can't lie, that's pretty good to see. I think that's good for the game's health, and it just encourages people to continue playing Blades. What's weird to me though is Elder Scrolls Blades is predominantly a mobile title, so it's designed to be played on the go, and then you have the Switch, which is a hybrid console, which you can play on the go, or you can dock it at your house. Now, I doubt you're gonna dock your console to play Elder Scrolls Blades, I'll be quite honest with you, but at the same time, I don't see people using the handheld version to take it on the go, because if you're gonna take it on the go, why don't you use your phone? Maybe you're trying to conserve battery life, that's always a possibility. Lastly on this list is Blades is better with friends. PvP isn't the only thing coming to Blades in our new arena mode. We're also excited to announce that you'll finally be able to form and join guilds. Experiencing Blades with your friends in a guild will open up several new options for you. Need something specific? Trade materials with one of your guildmates. Want to see one of your friends' towns? You'll be able to visit them and even purchase items from merchants in the town. In addition, PvP is tied to guilds as you make your way through the PvP leaderboards. You'll not only be making a name for yourself, but representing your guild as well. Yeah, so I don't think guilds are anything new to mobile games. I know, for example, one that I played for a decent amount of time was Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I dropped it pretty quickly because the progression was god awful and so slow. But I do remember there being guilds in that and people taking them very seriously and doing raids and timing them out. And I know one of my friends who played the game a lot joined a Discord server to get into said guild, and it was like a very serious thing. Now, I don't know if Elder Scrolls Blades will hit that level, but just know guilds aren't something entirely brand new to mobile games. I'm happy to see them come into Elder Scrolls Blades, but for me personally, I'm sure for most of my audience, the first 2 bullet points are probably the biggest when it comes to Elder Scrolls Blades, because it is the chest timers being removed and there is better loot. But for me, I just can't help but shake some of the nefarious things that Bethesda did with this game early on. Obviously the heavy monetization, the late response, and also shadow dropping some updates that would change how in-game loot worked, how the Abyss mode worked, and ultimately neutering players' experience, trying to encourage them to pay. A lot of this was discovered by data miners, and it was really bad, man. Like, it was awful what they were doing, and I don't think it got as much attention as it should have. I was trying to spread coverage on it. I did my whole news cycle on it, and quite honestly, I dropped it after that because I thought at this point, if no one's paying attention, then just talking about it more and more is only going to help Bethesda's cause with that game. But fortunately, the first time we're talking about it since then, it is some good news, and Bethesda has made some positive changes. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you going to get back into Elder Scrolls Blades or not? I might give it a whirl. We'll see. I just think it might be a little too late, and I got a bunch of other stuff to play, quite honestly. I got Shenmue 3 right here. I got to play this Dreamcast era game. Look, I've been a fan of Shenmue for a while, so maybe I'll enjoy it, but reviews aren't really convincing me to slap it in the PS4 quite yet, and that's as someone who kickstarted the game. Anyway, looking forward to reading your thoughts. As always, thank you to the patrons for helping make all these videos possible. I appreciate each and every one of you. And for those of you giving me your time today, I appreciate you as well. So thank you all, and I'll talk with all of you soon. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.